Welcome to San Juan, Puerto Rico. The Tournament of the Americas moves into the second round. 8 teams remain in the running for 3 spots in next summer's Olympic Games. Roberto Clemente Coliseo sold out once again. Tonight they're here to see Team America take on Team Canada. However, the United States will be without its leading scorer, Tracy McGrady, who's also the NBA scoring champion. He is sidelined indefinitely with a sore back. He did not play in the second half of Saturday's game against the Virgin Islands. He did go to today's shoot-around, but did not participate. And when the bus left for the arena tonight, he stayed in his hotel room, and he is receiving treatment. We'll get more on that story from his NBA coach, Doc Rivers, of the Orlando Magic between quarters. But now, let's go to Dave Weekley and Mike D'Antonio.
All right, thank you so much, Craig. And Tracy McGrady not in the lineup tonight. He's had a terrific tournament. We've had a day off. Now we begin the second week. The second round of this tournament begins with Team USA taking on Team Canada. Larry Brown and his coaching staff, what do you think their mindset is as far as tonight's starting lineup without T-Mac?
Well, you know, it doesn't really matter that much to them. They have a lot of guys that can fill his role. I just feel sorry for Tracy, who has been really super here, and it's too bad that he has a bad back. But we saw him on his first shot the other night. He was kind of grimacing, so probably stiffened up on him.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at the point guard comparison. On this floor tonight, we're going to have some of the best point guards in the world, and I don't think that's an overstatement. Steve Nash has been terrific for Team Canada, and look what happens when you put together Jason Kidd of the New Jersey Nets and Mike Bibby of the Sacramento Kings. It adds up to terrific point guard play for the United States.
Well, you know, Team Canada, first of all, has great chemistry as a team. Coach Triano has been doing a super job, but they start, they finish, and someplace in the middle is Steve Nash.
And speaking of Steve Nash, he's standing by with our Craig Sager right now. Craig?
Well, Team Canada has only one NBA player, but he is an all-star, a veteran of 10 years international experience. Steve, what does Team Canada have to do tonight to defeat the United States?
We probably can't make a mistake if we want to beat this team. They're too talented and too deep. But, you know, this is, to be honest, this is a day for us to kind of just stay in rhythm, try not to get hurt, and build for the big weekend, hopefully, that we have ahead of us.
All right, thanks a lot. Steve Nash, of course, also reuniting with a former teammate of his, Jason Kidd. When Steve Nash was a rookie, they were teammates in Phoenix. Dave?
Well, T-Mac's not playing tonight, but the leading scorer in this tournament is, and it's Rowan Barrett, and he has absolutely been scorching the nets for Team Canada. Yesterday against Mexico in a rout, he scored 20 points in the first quarter, and remember, the quarters here are only 10 minutes long.
Oh, he's had a phenomenal tournament. He had a great game against Puerto Rico, which is a big game for Canada. He's just been playing great. Tonight, looks like they're starting Vince Carter, and I'm sure Vince Carter will have the duty of trying to hold down Rowan Barrett.
Barrett averaging nearly 24 points a game and has been shooting 58% from the field and is 23 of 25 from the free throw line. And the free throw line has been a bit of a bugaboo for Team USA so far in this tournament. We'll see how they react tonight. You can see lots of high fives all around. For the United States, Jason Kidd, Allen Iverson, Tim Duncan, Jermaine O'Neal, and Vince Carter. And your lineup, Nash and Swartz will be in the backcourt. Barrett, Young, and Newton in the pivot for Team Canada. Team Canada in their white uniforms trimmed in red. Team USA in now their familiar blue uniforms trimmed in red and white. And the tap is controlled by Team Canada. And right away, Steve Nash has got his hands on the basketball, and that's about the best thing that can happen for the Canadians tonight.
You know, like Steve Nash said, they're going to have to play almost a perfect game. They have a lot of experience on the floor. There's 7 of the 12 players play professional basketball, and there goes Rowan Barrett already getting off right.
Barrett again, that is his 12th three-point shot converted in this tournament. Now the United States on offense for the first time tonight. Vince Carter in the lineup for the ailing Tracy McGrady. This is Jermaine O'Neal. He made every shot from the field against the Virgin Islands on Saturday, and he hits his first shot tonight. Nearly stolen. This is Barrett. Takes it back outside, and Team Canada will reset. Team Canada with the ball and a 1-point lead. We are just underway. For USA and Team Canada, this is the first game of the second week of competition here in San Juan. Jason Kidd quickly into the front court.
Barrett thought he got hit on the elbow on that shot.
Duncan rattles it home. Tim Duncan. And it's while most of these United States players have had one day off, Duncan's had a couple of days off. Of course, he did not play against the Virgin Islands on Saturday, opted very late to decide not to play against his native country.
Team USA is going to go inside early. They're going to try to get Duncan and O'Neal off. Team Canada is also without one of their big players, so they will not be able to foul. They're in a little bit of trouble.
Jesse Young got Jermaine O'Neal up in the air, but then committed to travel. You made the mention of Peter Garachi, the backup big man for the Canadians. He is not available tonight, sitting out a one-game suspension after getting in a fight with Eduardo Najera of Mexico yesterday. Najera also serving a one-game suspension. Shot is blocked, and Team Canada will control the basketball. 15 seconds on the shot clock.
You know, it's going to be a classic battle between the Canadian big guys who have to step out on the perimeter. They're going to have to knock down shots. Newton's going to have to hit some threes, trying to open the floor a little bit, try to get Nash off. And then they're going to have to stay out of foul trouble.
Barrett gets a pick up top. And this is Greg Newton. And the former Duke Blue Devil can't rattle it in. Rebound controlled by Jesse Young. Back to Newton, and he goes hard to the hole, and he is fouled and will shoot 2 free throws. Tim Duncan whistled on the personal. Team foul number 1 on the United States.
Oh, you'll see the whole game. You'll see Team Canada play within themselves. They will not try to do things that they're not capable of. They're a very experienced, very good team playing together, letting Steve Nash trying to, you know, take over if he has to.
Jay Triano is the head coach of the Canadian squad. He played for Team Canada for 11 years and now has coached the squad for the last 5.
He's also assistant coach of the Toronto Raptors.
Yes.
Vince Carter just came over and said hi to him.
Hate to do it to you tonight, Coach, but it might just have to be that way. Business is business. Jermaine O'Neal goes hard to the hole, and he is fouled and will head to the line.
Those are just things that are going to have to go right for Team Canada. It looked like a good block. Referee kind of anticipated something that wasn't there. No, that was a good block.
And that's a critical area for Team Canada tonight. They're a little thin inside, and Greg Newton picks up his first personal foul. Here's Jermaine O'Neal at the free throw line. O'Neal rattles the first one in.
So far through the tournament, Team USA has always started a little slow. See if they try to pick it up. Usually Iverson is the catalyst, getting an up-tempo game. He's trying to put some pressure right now.
A little full-court pressure defense. Nash into the front court. Gets it off to Young. Couldn't rattle it in. Here comes Tim Duncan. Ahead of the pack. The pass intended for Allen Iverson is stolen by Barrett.
If you're Team USA, you do not mind that. You want to just pick up the speed. Try to make them get out of their comfort zone. Go a little bit faster than what they want to. It's okay to, it's okay to make a mistake. It's okay if they get a layup every once in a while, but you're trying to speed them up.
Barrett trying to find some room against Jason Kidd, and he is fouled.
Barrett reminds me a whole lot of Johnny Newman.
Off the glass, no good for Newton. Duncan the rebound. The foul was on Jason Kidd, his first. Team foul number 2 for Team USA. Here's Jason Kidd with a basketball. Had 10 assists for the second time in this tournament on Saturday against the Virgin Islands. And once again, the ball goes into the pivot and a foul inside on Team Canada.
If the referees continue like this, there's no way Team Canada will have a chance. They cannot call little ticky-tack fouls. They don't have enough big guys. And the ball is definitely going to go inside for a while.
Jesse Young picks up the personal. That's his first. Vince Carter hanging and scoring.
Vince Carter.
Carter was 6 for 6 from the field against the Virgin Islands on Saturday. Barrett, the runner in the lane, and will hang in there for him. Rowan Barrett. Duncan thought about it. Here's Carter. Gets a pick from Duncan. Misses the shot. Jermaine O'Neal, the offensive board, and the flush. Jermaine O'Neal And Mike, he just simply gets better and better every game in this tournament.
He's come with a great attitude. He works hard. The man has really done himself proud.
Newton, back iron, too strong. Kidd off to Allen Iverson. Iverson leads Team USA in minutes per game. Oh, the behind-the-back feed to Duncan.
Just an unbelievable pass by Allen Iverson, getting the crowd up.
Team Canada running the floor. It's Jesse Young with the flush. Iverson. Unable to go backdoor. Here comes Team Canada. Nash with the basketball into the front court. Team Canada won 3 of their first 4 games in this tournament. Newton, great pass from Nash to Newton. Team Canada trailing by only a point, and that's a turnover on Jason Kidd.
I'm sure the matchup between Carter and Barrett. Barrett has also spent time a little TV work with the Toronto Raptors. He was in her camp for 2 years, so I'm sure they've gone at it a few times.
Also spent some time in the Sixers camp in 1999.
Oh, great.
Oh, my. That same combo works again for the guys from north of the border.
Just good basketball. Called Team USA napping a little bit. Vince Carter should have been yelling out the back screen. Did not give Duncan enough warning.
Nash and Newton hook up for a flashy basket. Here's Duncan spinning, shot off the glass, no good. Nash leads the break, 3-on-3. Here's Barrett with a good look outside the arc, rattles it in. Team Canada, their largest lead, 16-12.
That's just super ball movement. Steve Nash makes it look so easy. When you've got good shooters on the outside, it becomes an easy game.
Michael King will enter for Team Canada, the next opportunity. Iverson with 5 on the shot clock. Too strong with the 3. The rebound belongs to Sean Swartz.
One thing that's happened always to the opponent of Team USA, they've run out of gas. You remember Brazil started off really well, had a great quarter and a half, and then ran completely out of gas. We'll see if this, Canada did have a day off. That's what it did. Super shot by Steve Nash.
Nash with a one-handed runner that goes down, 18-12.
He made it look so easy. That's a left-handed runner. Not an easy shot.
There's Iverson. Swords goes down hard following the basket, gets right back up. 4-point game, 18-14. Brazil led Team USA after the first quarter. They're the only team to do that. Nash with the miss, Newton with the follow.
Things are really clicking for Team Canada right now. They're really playing well. The ball is moving. Team USA is going to have to pick up their defense as they have in the past. See what they can do.
United States only team in this tournament undefeated at this point. Here's Iverson weaving his way to the hole. Counted and a foul. Allen Iverson.
Here comes Team Canada with 3 substitutions, just trying to keep fresh guys on the floor. That is probably the most important key tonight. How they battle fatigue. Will they get tired? Will they run out of gas? Because you know Team USA is going to come waves of blue at you.
That's for sure. Michael King, Denham Brown, and Andrew Kwiatkowski is into the game for Canada. Kenyon Martin has checked in for the United States. 3-point play by Iverson pulls the United States to within 3 at 20-17. We're under 3 minutes to go, first quarter. And a travel is going to be called.
Now, Team Canada, they do not want to get into a mano-a-mano kind of thing. They have to move the basketball. Don't try to be fancy. Just move it until they find an open guy. If you try to challenge one-on-one, it's not going to be a great result. Unless you're Steve Nash.
Duncan a little short on the baseline turnaround, and Nash has the ball. They were talking about who's had success so far, Mike, against the United States. It hasn't been the team that's tried to push into the paint. Barrett hits yet another jumper.
Well, Rowan Barrett is lighting them up. I mean, this guy is playing super. And it hasn't been just tonight or hasn't been just this one quarter. It has been 4 to 5 days of great basketball.
He's got 10 points now to lead all scores. It's been the teams that have been able to move the ball and shoot the threes well that have given the United States problems. But of course, there haven't been too many problems. The United States is averaging 108 points a game, and they're winning by an average of nearly 40 a game. Ball tapped away from Brown. Here's Kidd. Jason Kidd with his first bucket. Nash to Brown.
What a great fast break by Steve Nash. Oh, they call the charge.
And that is going to go against Steve Nash. He was attempting to draw the charge against Allen Iverson, but the foul will go against him.
Look, see if he got set. Probably a good call. Great, perfect alley-oop by Nash to Brown. That was just the way Nash runs the fast break is like textbook. Always under control, always keeping his head up, trying to make the easy play. But if he has to make a hard play, he can do it. But he's always looking for the easy pass first.
Ball belongs to Team Canada, another United States turnover. Team USA has had their problems as far as turnovers are concerned. They've played a lot of flashy basketball, but they've thrown it away a lot as well, too. They're averaging 16 turnovers a game. Nash off the baseline. Jumper is up and good by Michael King.
That's exactly the way they have to play. Let Steve Nash penetrate, let him create something, stand on the perimeter, knock shots down.
Wasn't looking for the pass at the 2-on-1. And the shot is good by Prosper Karangwa. Karangwa is into the game, still in a couple of minutes on the bench for Barrett, and he contributes a bucket. And Canada has their largest lead at 28-19. Richard Jefferson in the game for Team USA, and Duncan is locked up.
That's about all King could do was that. That's a great defensive play.
First, primera falta personal, número 14, Michael King.
Now the other end, Kwiatkowski, who speaks 5 languages. In any language, that's a great play.
Yep. Very fluent in the language of hoops. 22.6 to go in the first. Shot clock is off. Here's Duncan. You know, I think maybe the best thing that was said about Tim Duncan's absence on Saturday for the game with the Virgin Islands came from Mike Bibby, who said after the game he didn't even know until after the game that Duncan didn't even play. He thought Duncan actually did play a couple of minutes.
Well, that's a point guard. I don't know if that's a great thing or not.
Ray Allen in the game for Team USA. 28-21, Canada. Here's Nash. His shot is rejected. Jefferson got the block. Here comes Bibby. The runner, no good. We're at the end of one. The plot thickens a bit here in San Juan, Puerto Rico, where Canada leads the United States at the end of one, 28-21. Well, with Barrett knocking down the jump shots and Steve Nash running the show for Team Canada, they've been very impressive. Let's head over to Craig Sager, who's standing by with the head coach of the Orlando Magic, Doc Rivers. Craig?
Well, Doc, we mentioned that Tracy McGrady was out indefinitely. He's not here, but you talked to him on the phone. How bad is he hurt?
Well, I don't think it's anything that we're concerned about. He's had back problems over the last 2 or 3 years. And we're just going to wait until he gets back to Orlando and evaluate him. We just want to make sure that he's healthy.
You said when he gets back to Orlando, is there a chance he may not play in the rest of this tournament?
I think there's a chance. I think he's going to try to play. I think he wants to do everything he can to play, but he has to be very careful. You know, the season starts in a month, and we want to make sure he's okay for that also.
2 years ago, he was hampered by back problems, something you had throughout your career, but last year he seemed to be healthy. Why the setback?
Well, I don't know. He had some at the beginning of last year also where he missed a couple of games. You know, once you have a bad back, you always have a bad back. And as long as you manage it, you're fine. And I think he's done a great job. This is a flare-up, and that's the way we're looking at it.
Besides checking on Tracy McGrady, I know you have other duties here at this tournament. What's your opinion of this first quarter? Canada leading 28-21.
Well, they're just attacking right now, making shots, and, you know, we're not. So I think it'll turn around, obviously, but you don't want these teams to get any confidence against you. I think they already have that from last year. So I think you'll see a different story in the second quarter.
It's a great matchup of all-star point guards with Jason Kidd and Steve Nash. Obviously, Jason Kidd has better teammates on paper. But what is Steve Nash doing so effectively here?
I think the one thing he does, he gives the other guys on his team confidence. They've been in the NBA, and you know it, and I think that's the difference.
I know you're a big baseball fan. You're in Roberto Clemente Coliseum. Does that mean anything to you?
It means a lot to me. Go White Sox.
All right, thanks a lot, Dave.
Right. I know Doc Rivers a big Chicago Bears fan as well.
Now it's a pretty critical moment for Team Canada. Steve Nash is getting a rest on the bench. I would imagine Coach Triano will have a short rope for Steve Nash.
Oh, I'm sure you're exactly right. Here's Brown. Couldn't get it to hang in there. Offensive rebound collected by Team Canada's Michael King.
Well, right now, Team Canada's just outworking Team USA a little bit. We'll have to pick it up.
King will be a senior at Wisconsin Green Bay this fall. Karanga can't get it to go down. United States with an opportunity to draw a little closer. Bibby to Jefferson. And the drop down to Kmart. And Kmart senses the double team, but before he can throw out of it, there's a foul called.
The most difficult thing about international basketball, from one quarter to the next, they will change their rhythm of calling fouls. From one game to the next, from 1 week to the next, you don't know how they're going to referee, and it makes it extremely tough to keep your composure and try to stay on the floor.
Kwiatkowski with the foul for Canada. Their first here in the second period. And Bibby stepped on the end line. That's a turnover. Mike Bibby has been living in the exercise facility at the team's headquarters.
They didn't have a room for him?
Well, he's literally
oh, okay.
nearly living in there.
Okay.
Working very hard, because don't forget, at the end of this tournament, we're about 4 weeks away from the opening of NBA training camp. And of course, you'll be on the move there, Mike, with the Phoenix Suns when they open camp. Elton Brand, the steal. And the rebound collected by Team Canada. Long pass ahead, stolen by Kenyon Martin. Here comes Ray Allen into the front court.
Team Canada a little ragged right now. They need to get into a groove. They don't have Steve Nash in. They got to be very careful in this moment.
Richard Jefferson on the drive.
And they were playing great defense. That's just great team. Weak side defense came over. It looked like he took a charge. Just look at it. Watch the weak side. King coming over.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's. He could have probably faked it a little bit better. Not get his arms out. His arms might have created the first contact. That definitely could have been easily could have been called a charge.
Richard Jefferson hits the first free throw. Team USA came into play tonight shooting just 64% as a team from the free throw line.
You did it again. You jinxed them again.
Yeah.
They were 100% up to that one.
Canada with the ball, a 6-point lead. Barrett and Nash remain on the bench for Canada.
See, this is where, in this moment, this is where Barrett and Steve Nash being on the bench, Team Canada's in trouble. They run their offense. If they can get a shot, they're okay. But if it comes down to someone having to go one-on-one or create a shot, they have no one on the floor that can do that right now.
Richard Jefferson whistled on the foul. Team foul number 1 against the United States in the second quarter. Here's Brown trying to work on Jefferson. Karanga showed a bevy of moves there, but couldn't make the basket. Here comes Bibby. Bibby the dish to Brand.
That's a great feed by Mike Bibby. Elton Brand running the floor like he does so well.
Good double team in the backcourt. Team Canada across the line. Denham Brown. In and out. Tough luck shot for the UConn Husky. And a foul in the backcourt.
Brown might be the guy that has to get some points on the board right now for Team Canada with two stars on the bench. You know, he did score 111 points in one high school game. That is a lot of points.
Kwiatkowski picks up his second personal foul. So here comes the United States with a chance to draw a little closer. They trailed by 7 at the end of one. 7.5 to go in the first half, 28-24. Team Canada with the lead. Ray Allen, nothing but net. Great shot, Ray Allen. Newton and Young set to return for Canada. This is Nobel Thomas in the game.
Elton Brand has definitely picked up the energy. He's pressing full court. He's hustling. He's running the break.
Brown got it.
That's going to be the answer until they get back to Nash and Barrett.
Brown at 20 years old is the youngest member of Team Canada. Here's Elton Brand in the paint. Back to Brand. And a foul is called.
Team Canada does a really good job of playing team defense. They understand weak side helping out, sagging over, getting to their men, closing off the baseline. They do a great job, which is a testament to Coach Triano because they are coached very well.
Here comes Rowan Barrett back into the lineup for Team Canada. Got a shot a moment ago. Larry Brown directing traffic. He is the coach of the United States.
Rowan Barrett.
Duncan working on Newton. Spun it up and in. As we mentioned, Team USA winning these games through the first 4 games by an average of nearly 40 a game, but right now 6.5 to go in the first half. They trail by a bucket. This is Thomas wide open. Couldn't knock it down. Brown the rebound for Team Canada. Threw it away, intended for Newton. Ray Allen hit a big 3 a moment ago and now drives to the bucket and taps home his own miss.
Ray Allen put an extra gear on the baseline and tapped it back in. Great play. Team USA need to go to Duncan a little bit. Ooh.
Over and back.
It's one of those decals on the floor that gets slippery. It's slippery.
Team Canada wants a timeout. You know, with Denham Brown and Ray Allen in the game at the same time, although they're on different teams, it's like a UConn reunion. Now Steve Nash has been on the bench for the first 4 minutes.
They're all sitting like this, right?
Let's listen in to Larry Brown.
You got to have a guy in the slot, ball side, strong side, and a big guy high or to the rim. If you can take the guy to the rim, then he's got that pass, all right? 3 down, Ray, everybody. Everybody's America's playing. 3 screens for 2. You come out either way, coming to shoot. 3 in, we're coming to dump it in. 3 up, we're stepping up. All right? Transition defense is better, but our defense will only get better if our offense shares the ball. 5-game, bigs got to screen bigs because they're locked in. You're going to get somebody open.
Come on, 5 now. Let's do it, man. Weak side, be ready, but we got to force the baseline. Every time they've got middle, they got open jumpers on penetration.
All right, look, listen up. You want to go over the top and then stay there, and then a turnout on him, look to the lob. Ready to see it? Where am I? Good, over the top.
Well, following last week's opening round of this tournament, they reshuffled the deck with 8 teams. So here's what's coming up for the United States. Tomorrow at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, 5 p.m. Eastern time, an opportunity for Team USA to get a little payback against Argentina in the wake of that upset loss last year at the World Championships in Indianapolis. Team USA will take on Mexico Wednesday at 10, and then Thursday night, it'll be a battle royale here at Roberto Clemente Coliseum as Team USA meets Puerto Rico.
Still no Steve Nash on the floor. 8 possessions, Team Canada, 1 field goal, 3-point shot by Brown. And America, Team USA has turned up the screws.
Yeah, they have. 34-31, 5.5 to go, first half. Thomas to Newton, and the big hands of Brand and Duncan stop him, and A quick fast break by the United States, and Ray Allen has a quick 10 points in this game. Here's Denham Brown. He knocks in a 3 for Canada. Team Canada needed that. Pulls them back to within a bucket at 36-34.
Yeah, that was a big shot by Brown. They're just trying to buy as much time they can so Nash can go all the way down to second half where he has energy. This whole game is based on the energy that Canada can have down the stretch or in the second half.
Elton Brand just simply plowed the road and just cleared away Jesse Young and went to the goal. Now Brand is hounding Young at the offensive end. Thomas, the great look inside. Young couldn't finish, but Newton's there for the tap up and in. And we've got an official timeout on the floor. 4:36 to go in the first half. Team USA has regained the lead, but Team Canada more than holding their own at 38-36.
They're almost doing what Steve Nash says at first of the game. We're going to have to play a perfect game. They have played very solid, very good. Their defense is very impressive. But Team USA, little by little, has turned up the pressure.
That was a slice, right? First thing on slice.
You're in the huddle with Team Canada and head coach Jay Triano.
You got to do a really good job getting into his midsection and cutting out here to give him a good angle. All right? Hey, Bell's got to do the same by taking him in.
Don't jog your offense. Don't reject so early. Force it through because the second part of it's
we got to get to the free throw line. Michael, you got to get the ball deep on the free play. Timmy, did he show it all on the 3 on the turnout? Next time we run slice.
Give it here. And come and run the baseline one as well. I'll be there, guys. Don't reject it.
All right, the other voice you were hearing in the Team Canada huddle was of assistant coach Mike Katz. And obviously, Mike, in that during this timeout, Team Canada trying to stress what they want to do offensively.
Well, their defense is pretty good. It's pretty solid. So obviously, they're just trying to buy Steve Nash a lot of time on the bench, and he's rested pretty well. So he should be ready to go here pretty soon.
Team Canada last week defeated Puerto Rico 89-79 in their first game, then lost to Argentina. The United States opponent tomorrow lost to Argentina. Team Canada did 94-90. They defeated Uruguay 90-84 and then had a bit of a laugher yesterday, downing Mexico 108-72. United States with a 2-point lead in the ball. Here's Vince Carter, his first shot. Elton Brand keeping it alive on the offensive end. Here's Carter, he'll try the other side. Allen Iverson. Smallest guy on the floor. Got a one-handed tap and put it back up and in. Newton. Shot won't go. Rebound collected by Young. And here comes the United States. Duncan with a baseball pass to Brand. Counted and a foul, Elton Brand.
Just a great series by Team USA on defense. It is tough for Team Canada to go inside. You've got Elton Brand, Tim Duncan. Then you see Elton Brand leading the break, looking for Carter on the side, but decided to take himself. Great job.
How about Tim Duncan with that super 60-foot outlet pass? Lasered it in there to Brand, who covered the remainder of the court, took it to the hole and scored it and drew the foul. 3-point play for Elton Brand. Team USA turning up the heat defensively. Full court pressure defense. Newton gets it ahead to Barrett. Barrett had 10 points, all in the first quarter. Still no Steve Nash for Team Canada. This is Brown on the pull-up pop over Iverson. Jason Kidd back in the lineup for the United States. Jason Kidd and some of his USA teammates took advantage of yesterday's day off to play a little golf. Here's Tim Duncan, and he rattles it in.
That's just a great move. Great touch by Big Fudge. Great touch.
Greg Francis set to enter for Team Canada. Barrett finally missed. Team USA with a 9-point lead. Brand, pull up in the lane. Newton clears the board for Canada. Novell Thomas wants to slow things down. Backdoor feed, thrown out of bounds. Young trying to slip it to Brown. Greg Francis and Andrew Kwiatkowski back into the lineup for Team Canada, replacing Newton and Young. Swords is into the game now, replacing Thomas.
Team Canada doing a great job just trying to keep fresh bodies on the floor. Critical moment here 2 minutes ago in the second quarter. Can't let it get up to 15.
Elton Brand.
That's all.
Elton Brand will check out. Jermaine O'Neal in.
Why? No foul?
That looks at it all.
No foul?
Duncan ended up on his backside on the baseline.
That doesn't happen to him too much in the NBA. He would be going to the foul line on that one. Rightly so.
And as Vince Carter tries to fight his way into the paint, that'll be a foul.
And the bonus.
So Barrett picks up his second. Kenyon Martin will replace Tim Duncan in the United States lineup. Carter puts it up and in. By the way, stick with us at halftime. Craig Sager will have an enlightening conversation with Vince Carter of Team USA. He's trying to shake off the injuries here in San Juan and reestablish himself as one of the premier players on the planet. Craig Sager talks to Vince Carter at halftime, so stay tuned to that. And Swords is fouled by Carter. That'll be the third team foul on the United States. No, check that. Oh, yeah, third team foul.
You know, with Nash being on the bench so long, and just, you know, it might be thinking this is not the game to win against Team USA. We might want to just be sure we're ready, make it to the semis or finals, and then put it on them.
Greg Francis missed it.
Oh, nice hands by Jason Kidd.
Boy, those quick hands by Team USA under the basket.
Oh,
lob intended for O'Neal. And Iverson threw that one away. And Iverson looked to Jermaine and said, hey, just flush it in. Don't catch it and control it. Just stuff it in the basket. Easier said than done.
I would think Jermaine had to be a contortionist to be able to get that one. That was not a very good pass.
Francis, pull up off the baseline. Kenyon Martin, a strong rebound. Lots of blue jerseys in the paint that time for the United States. We turn under 90 seconds to go before halftime. Kidd, the lob to Carter for two.
It is just tough for Team Canada, for anyone, to continually play well with the pressure that Team US can bring for 40 minutes. It's just, you get no rest. One guy goes out of the game and someone better or as good comes in.
Oh, the MO of this, a lot of contact inside.
Barrett just ran into Kenyon Martin. He just ran into a man. Oh, he lowered the boom on him.
Barrett and Kmart going nose to nose that time.
Here's Kidd surveying what they've got. They see they want to get it into Carter. Carter does a great job. They're going high-low. Kidd does a great job a lot. Had the high-low also.
Back to the live action inside of a minute to go. 10 on the shot clock for Team Canada. They trail by 13. And the shot up off the baseline will not go for Michael King, but the 23-year-old forward from Cambridge, Ontario, set for a senior year at Wisconsin Green Bay, is going to the free throw line for two shots. The foul on Jermaine O'Neal. King hits the first shot. He was one of 10 finalists for the Jimmy V Comeback of the Year award after getting a medical red shirt from the previous season for a bad back. Makes 1 out of 2. Team Canada had a 7-point lead on the United States at the end of 1, but now they trail by 12. Iverson with the delivery to Kenyon Martin. Long pass ahead, knocked out of bounds.
Oh, and they gave it to Team
Oh, they're going to give that one to the United States.
Coliseo gets on the floor, doesn't get a technical, which is nice for the referee since he missed 3 straight calls. No use.
These 2 guys
3-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Wow, O'Neal nearly got that lob to Martin. Loose ball controlled by Team Canada, and Kenyon Martin's going to be whistled on the foul. And that's his first foul.
If he would have made that dunk on that, I've never seen one like that one. That was unbelievable that he even had an attempt to make it. Watch Kenyon getting up. Oh.
Kwiatkowski hits the first, 1 more. And I think Jay Triano still talking about the last trip down the floor for Team Canada. Rattles in 2.
Well, I'm sure he's talking about the last trip and the trip before that.
Jason Kidd. And we've come to the end of the first half. Curiously, in the second quarter, no Steve Nash for Team Canada. And of course, the United States is playing without Tracy McGrady, who's back at the team headquarters tonight after experiencing some back problems. Let's swing it over to Craig Sager, who's standing by with Jason Kidd.
Jason, a 19-point turnaround that second quarter. How much of that was the fact that Steve Nash was not running their offense?
Well, Steve is a big part. He's a great player, and we understand that. And Canada's a good team, and they came out and played a great first quarter, and we finally kind of got our offense going. And our defense, we just weren't getting back. And so once we made that adjustment, we kind of took control of the game. But there's still a lot of time left.
How much do you miss Tracy McGrady?
Well, we miss Tracy because he can shoot from the outside. He's, if not one of the best players in the league. So, but we're going to pick it up until he gets back.
You think if this had been a medal game, you would have seen Steve Nash the entire time?
40 minutes, there's no doubt. He's young, and he loves to play, and we look for he'll be probably the whole 20 minutes in the second half.
Thanks a lot, Dave.
All right, thanks so much, Greg, and thanks to Jason Kidd. We are at halftime, and the United States rebounding from a 7-point first quarter deficit to have the lead 51-39. And the story of this tournament so far for the United States, Mike, has been runs. They've gotten on some serious runs. They've turned up the heat defensively, and when they get the turnovers on the defensive end, they make opponents pay on the offensive end.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. They have some of one of the best point guards in the league. Also, Elton Brand gets out. Great athleticism on the floor. The biggest thing is they just come at you in waves. The other team just wears down. They cannot handle the pressure.
Well, Team Canada was doing an outstanding job in the first quarter when they were hitting their shots, but in the second quarter, those shots just weren't open. And Barrett wasn't on the floor, neither was Steve Nash.
Well, and that's a big difference. Whether that is a critical difference, we'll see later on in the week if they make it to with the Team USA, make it to the semifinals and finals. I'm sure there's a little gamesmanship going on because if they have a chance, they want to sneak up on them later on. So it's been an interesting first half. I think they got a lot of confidence from when Nash is on the floor. They can play with him. So I'm sure Coach Triano's putting all that together, and we'll see later on in the week.
Well, there's no question that Team Canada runs their offense a lot more efficiently when Nash is on the floor as opposed to when he's not. Mike, you've seen Team Canada play a few times now during the opening round. Where would you rank them in terms of the teams we might see at the end of this week advancing into the semifinals? Or do you think that even though they lost Argentina, they're the equal of Argentina, Brazil, some of those teams?
Well, from just what I've seen right now, I would say that Argentina still has the best shot at challenging Team USA. But Team Canada's not far behind us right there. I think they are not, as a team, they're better than Puerto Rico or Brazil. But having said that, we're still playing in Puerto Rico. So you have to put that under consideration. If it comes down to a medal game with this crowd of 10, 12, how many thousand there are, it would be tough to beat Puerto Rico here at their home court.
Now that the opening week is over, we've reshuffled the deck as far as the 10 teams are taking part in this tournament. The bottom 2 teams are gone, 8 teams are left. So we want to give you the schedule for the United States over the next 3 days. And of course, all these games are available on pay-per-view. Tomorrow afternoon should be a very, very entertaining game as the United States takes on Argentina. Argentina was a winner over Brazil earlier today, and there'll be an opportunity for Team USA to take on Argentina for the first time since the Argentines beat the United States in last year's World Championships in Indianapolis. Should be an outstanding game. It tips tomorrow afternoon at 5 p.m. On Wednesday, the United States will go up against one of the surprise teams in this tournament from Group A, Mexico. Mexico and Team USA go at it at 10 p.m. on Wednesday night. Then Thursday, we had a huge crowd here last night for Puerto Rico and Argentina, but we may set an attendance record Thursday night when the group of Team USA stars take on Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico was a winner in the game tonight previous to this one over Venezuela. Team USA and Puerto Rico, that'll be Thursday night at 10 p.m. Well, there are a host of terrific stories here this week at the FIBA Tournament of the Americas, and one of them on the United States sideline involves Vince Carter, who's trying to turn his career around, get back to the elite status in the NBA. He's had a terrific week. He's into his second week, and he sat down to talk about his career, Team USA, and the NBA with our Craig Sager.
Well, Vince, has been a crazy year. You named a starter for the All-Star game. You give up your starting spot to Michael Jordan. Then you come here because you replace Kobe Bryant. What's your role? What's your responsibilities with this team?
Just to come play hard, and when I'm on the court, to perform. You know, I mean, I'm happy to be here. However it happened, it doesn't matter. It's the fact that they considered me when they needed another body. So I'm just glad to be here and glad to be able to play, because I think it helps me because of the season I had and the amount of games that I played, which weren't many. It's good for me to really get a head start on the season before the season starts.
Having missed so many games, particularly the last 2 years, being on the injured list, is this a good idea? Are you healthy? I'm
healthy. I wouldn't have taken this this job if I wasn't healthy. You know, that wouldn't make sense. So I'm just glad that I am healthy, and it just gives me a chance to get in shape and be ready for camp before any of the other guys there, so I can really set the bar for what we're trying to do next year, this coming season.
At the 2000 Olympics, you're obviously the most popular player on the planet. You won the NBA Slam Dunk Contest that year, leading vote getter in the All-Star game the next 2 years. But with these injuries, you've kind of been knocked off the pedestal. Do you miss the spotlight?
There's no pedestal, there's no spotlight. I think being rated as a number is overrated. I think the job you do for your team means more, in my opinion. I think what determines who's number one and who's number two. You know, what they say about who scores the most points, you know, things like that. You know, I think what determines a great player is what he does, what he can do for his team as well as for himself and making other guys better. That's what I consider. So I'm not what they would consider in the top 10, 12 players, but I must be pretty good, and they think of me in some way from here. So I'm just going to keep playing and get better.
A guy who was never hurt in high school, never hurt at North Carolina, finally hurt for the first time. How difficult was it mentally for you?
It's tough, and it's still tough, you know, because everywhere you go, even every time you play a basketball game now, oh, how's the knees? How's the ankles? How you feeling? So it was just tough to handle, and it's something I've never ever been a part of, never experienced before. So I've grown up. It makes you step back and really enjoy your times, the good times and bad times, and I've learned a lot, and just made me work harder.
Usually after an injury, people talk about, well, they're not 100%, not the way I used to be, but the way you're soaring here in Puerto Rico, are you back 100%?
Oh yes, that's been my goal. You know, I know there's been people get hurt every day in the NBA all the time, It's just that my approach was to really sit back and not start over from scratch, but really let it all heal. You know, I think the first time after I healed from that injury, the knee injury, and I started to get a little better, I immediately jumped back on the court. It's like, okay, I'm fine, I can play. This time I let it heal, took pretty much the whole summer off as far as not playing any basketball, letting it heal, letting everything get 100%, and then near the end of the summer, really progressing back into it until I got the phone call. So I'm a little early on the schedule as far as playing basketball, but hey, I'm happy to be here.
Who gave you the phone call?
I think Coach Smith called. I think the Stu called Larry, which called Dean Smith, which called my mother, which called me.
Luke, North Carolina tie-in?
That's how it works.
You know, you've been playing in the NBA for 5 years. You played against some of these guys, but I've never seen players sit there and watch another player like they do you. Allen Iverson the other day had the picture from your dunk in 2000. He was like a little kid at show and tell, running around showing everybody, look at this, look at this, look at this. What was that like, and how do you explain going that high in the air? Somebody in front of you, nobody and none of you.
I just look at my expression. That's telling me that I had no clue I did that. You know, it's more so reaction than anything. It was a steal. Just take 2 dribbles and just go after, attack the rim. And more so, you know, I just see my eyes, which tells me I was focusing on the rim. And like at this point in time, I didn't feel him. I thought he fell down or he got out of the way until I actually saw a tape of it later on the night, somebody's little home camera. And I watched 11 times in a row, just because I've never attempted this, never thought about this in my life. Not a 7-footer, at least.
So you watched 11 times in a row?
That night.
What went through your mind?
How did I do that? You know, what was going through my mind? And it's funny because people actually ask me, was it planned? You can't plan this. You know, it's not guaranteed a guy's going to actually stand there. You know, guys in our league, like the Tim Duncans, the Kim Mutombos, they don't just stand there and take charge. They go to block your shots and block your dunks. And, you know, I was just really going to attack the rim. And if we dunked on it, it's going to be by the chest to chest or anything. But, hey, there you have it.
And we might point out that the guy you're jumping over is 7 feet 2 inches tall. So
I think he played with the Knicks, huh?
He was drafted by the Knicks, #1.
Sorry about that.
After some of your dunks here, you've like landed on one leg and done a pose. Is that just spontaneous too? Or?
Yeah, everything I do it just happens. I don't plan any of it because every time I seem to plan a dunk or plan a reaction, it never goes according to plan. You know, like all the dunks that I've done since I've been here in Puerto Rico weren't planned. I was actually planning on doing something else, and just the instinct makes me do something else.
So do you think this tournament right here is like your not coming out because you've already been there, but your return to the spotlight?
Not that, just my return back on the court, doing what I've been doing, and just helping people remember what I can do.
You're an alternate on this team. You want to be on the team next year in Athens?
Oh, most definitely. You know, I'm more than happy to be here, like I said, and you know, I told them in 2000 they wanted me to play. I'm a phone call away. And when they called me, the decision wasn't hard. So if they gave me the opportunity again, I definitely would take advantage of it.
Congratulations for being here, and thanks for the highlights.
Hey, my pleasure. Many more to come.
51-39, we can never see Vince Carter's dunk over Frederick Weiss of France often enough. Let's swing it back over to Craig Sager, who's standing by with the head coach of Team Canada, Jay Triano. Craig?
Well, a textbook first quarter by Team Canada, jumping out to that 28-21 lead. Steve Nash was sensational. We did not see him in the second quarter. Why?
Well, he's a little bit tired right now. We've had 4 games in a row. This is our 5th game in 5 days, and you know, we know that we've got a lot more basketball to play, and he just didn't seem like he was in a situation where he wanted to go back into the second quarter.
Will we see him in the second half?
I'm not sure yet. We're gonna wait and see how he goes. And you know, the big thing for us isn't this game as much as it is qualifying for the Olympics. So we want to make sure that he is rested for the big games that we have coming up.
Is this something of gamemanship? Are you playing games in the United States or something?
Not at all. Not at all. I mean, we have a very, very important game tomorrow against Brazil. And that could determine whether we get another chance to play the United States. So we want to make sure we're in the Final Four. That's all we're concerned about right now.
If this was the medal round, would we have seen Steve Nash the entire 40 minutes?
I believe so, yes.
All right, thanks a lot, Jay. Dave.
All right, little intrigue here in San Juan. Mike, your reaction to no Steve Nash for Team Canada in the second quarter?
That's probably a smart move because, like we talked before, this is not the game that they have to win. They've already marked this down. And, you know, I forgot that they played 5 games in a row. I thought they had yesterday off. So it makes sense. You do not want to wear him out. He's the only way that they can get to the Olympics, and that's what they want. They understand they would love to beat Team USA. They would love to do that, especially after we accused them of causing the blackout.
Well, hey, you know, they suffered the blackout, too. They had an exhibition game that preceded this tournament that had to be rescheduled because they were hit by the blackout, too. You know, we mentioned late in the second quarter about the runs that Team USA has gone on, and they've been so effective. They outscored Team Canada 30-11 in the second quarter after trailing by 7 after 1.
You know, the amazing thing about it, you don't even really notice it. I mean, you're thinking Team Canada's hanging in there, and then you look up and they just gave them 19 points in 10 minutes. That's just because of the potential that this Team USA, the players, the substitutes that come in, and just to be able to continuously put pressure on you defensively, it's hard to withstand that. If you don't have Steve Nash, you don't even have a chance. With Steve Nash, it will be very difficult.
Nash taking the second quarter off in this game, a game against America's best, Team USA. Is that something that he let the other players on Team Canada know about before the game?
No, I don't even think that doesn't even come up. But we kind of got a hint of it in the interview before the game with Craig, and he said, this is not really important for us. It's important to just keep our rhythm, play well, and then later on we'll see what happens. So he kind of led us to believe that something like this could happen. This is fine. I mean, they're playing well, and it's an exciting game anyway. And this is a marathon. This is not a sprint. It's not tonight. This is, you know, you got to go 3 or 4 more games, and then you got the finals. And so the coaches know what they're doing, and they want to get to the Olympics.
All right, this is the final game of the first day of the second week of the FIBA Tournament of the Americas. Here's what's going on earlier today. Mexico bounced back after their lopsided loss to Team Canada yesterday with a 9-point win over the Dominican Republic. We were here for the Brazil-Argentina game. Very, very entertaining game. Brazil got a basket at the buzzer. Argentina did what they needed to do for the second consecutive night. They beat Puerto Rico last night. And then Puerto Rico was in a tussle in the first half with Venezuela, but in the second half, they just blew them out.
No, it was a great evening of basketball. Again, Argentina tomorrow at 5 o'clock against the Team USA. It should be interesting and see if we can give a little payback.
Yeah, Manu Ginobili at the beginning of this tournament made some comments that after the long NBA season and then the long run in the playoffs to the NBA championship, was a little bit tired and his shot was off. But in the last couple of games, he's played very, very well. He's definitely back, and I'm sure he's going to give Team USA his best shot tomorrow. Well,
first of all, he's a great player. He continues to improve. Second of all, he's never going to say anything that's going to tick off any Team USA member because he has to play not only this tournament, then he's got to play 82 games. He wants to be very careful what he says.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look now at the stats of the first 2 quarters of play from this game. Team USA with a 51-39 lead after outscoring Canada 30-11 in the second quarter. Field goal percentages for Team USA up at the level where they've been throughout this tournament.
Yeah, there's nothing really stands out because there's not a stat for energy or for the bench that you have. And that's a story here, and also the story of Steve Nash, you know, taking the second quarter off. But they've improved their free throw. 9 free throws, 9 for 10. That's a start.
Well, you can't blame me for jinxing them all. Just the one.
Well, you only said it once.
Team USA came into play shooting 64% from the line through their first 4 games, hit 9 of 10 in the first half, and they have a 17-16 edge in the rebounding category, and they have been out-rebounding their opponents by an average of 14 rebounds a game leading into this tussle with Team Canada. So this North American showdown here at the FIBA Tournament of the Americas set to move into the second half. Team USA with a 51-39 edge. Just one more point about the runs in this tournament by Team USA. Brazil trailed the United States by 2 in the first game for Team USA last Wednesday night. Then Team USA went on a 29-8 run in the third quarter, blew them out. In the Dominican Republic win, Team USA had an 18-0 run in that game and rolled to a 111-73 win. Against Venezuela, that game featured a 17-6 run. The United States won it 98-69. And then yesterday against the Virgin Islands, Team USA had a 20-0 run in the second quarter. They won that game 113-55. Third quarter underway, and the blue-clad United States with the basketball. Iverson lost the handle. And one of the new rules here in international competition this year, no jump ball in that situation. We're going to go to the alternate possession, and the basketball belongs to Team Canada.
That's a good rule to do the alternate possession because they, officials have a hard time getting the ball up straight. It's not really fair. And there's no Steve Nash in the second half, so looks like he's going to maybe rest the rest of the game.
Swords with the ball for Team Canada, guarded closely by Jason Kidd. Barrett missed it. Long rebound controlled by Allen Iverson. Barrett had 10 points in the first half, all in the first quarter. Here's Jermaine O'Neal in the paint. Missed the shot. Newton the rebound.
The biggest thing that Team USA right now, they cannot look over and see Steve Nash on the bench and then take it easy. As Duncan, great dunk. Great steal and dunk. They just can't look over there and say, oh, there's no Steve Nash. We'll just kind of play. And they just got to keep the pressure on and still have the concentration that they need.
How about Tim Duncan, the reigning NBA MVP, getting out in the passing lane 35 feet from the hole to make that steal and then take it all the way for the dunk. Not too many 6'11" guys can do that.
Well, since he's probably the best 6'11" guy in the world, it's fairly commonplace for him.
Carter, the dump down, and the shot by Duncan, and he'll go back to the line. Foul is going to be on Greg Newton. And for Newton, that's his second personal foul. So now Newton, Young, and Barrett all with 2 apiece for Canada.
Yeah, they spread it out pretty well, which is good. No one's in trouble right now. That's something that they need to continue. But you also see that, like Barrett had a great first quarter with Steve Nash. It'd be interesting to see without Steve Nash what he can do. It will not be easy for him because the defense will key on him. And without Nash setting him up, it could be a long second half for him also.
Jump shot by Jesse Young. Young's got 5. Here's Carter off the baseline. A high arcing shot for 2.
Well, that is beautiful. Had something to say to Coach Trion on the way back.
Catch you after the game, Coach. Swords with a dump down to Newton. Newton, who left Duke the year before Elton Brand got there, is fouled by Jermaine O'Neal.
Jermaine that time kind of extended his arms a little bit on defense. He was holding Newton in place.
Newton's got some offensive skills. You'll still find him on the top 10 list in field goal percentage all time at Duke University, and he'll go to the free throw line for 2.
He plays in Bulgaria. Interesting choice. Place to play.
His other pro stops include Slovakia, Israel, Belgium, and he spent a brief stint as a teammate of Oscar Schmidt in Brazil 4 years ago. And I know, Mike, you've had your share of interesting experiences with Oscar Schmidt.
Oscar Schmidt, one of the greatest shooters I've ever seen, probably anyone has ever seen. He only shoots it though when he has it.
A good rule to follow.
Well, I'm sure if you asked Greg Newton, he probably did take a shot that year. Oscar will take his share of shots.
Iverson for 3. Allen Iverson.
Great weak side pass by Jermaine. Great court awareness.
Swords looks inside. Jason Kidd deflects the ball out of bounds. Well, Peter Karachi unable to play tonight. He's suspended because of a bit of an on-the-court brawl he had with Eduardo Nahara of Mexico yesterday.
I've watched Garashi play a lot in Italy. He was in Scavallini Pesaro. He was down in Rosetto. And the way he plays is a perfect fight to happen with Maharat. Both of them are like bulls in the china shop. Both of them are coming at you with everything they got. And it's inevitable that after 4 or 5 straight games, tempers are a little tense. You get tired. You can't hold your emotions, and they just went at it. And you know, I don't blame either one of them, although Garashi kind of apologized to everyone, and he said he started it, so that was awful nice of him.
Swords comes up with a basketball for Canada. They trail by 17. Barrett with a good look from the wing. Can't hit the 3, but he's fouled by Vince Carter, and that should be 3 free throws. And
we have a little animosity between the two
there.
Toronto men. They started on the defensive end, or started on the Team USA offensive end. They ran into each other, had some words.
Well, you know, last year, Barrett spent some time on Canadian television doing some post-game analysis on Raptors games. Maybe Vince didn't like all those comments.
Right.
Let's go to Craig Sager.
You know, we talked about Steve Nash not playing here in the second half. Look at the schedule. Canada's next 3 games are Brazil, the Dominican Republic, and Venezuela. Their most important game so far of the tournament obviously will be tomorrow against Brazil, because they should easily defeat Dominican Republic and Venezuela. That means that would put them as the number 2 seed and in a semifinal against somebody other than the United States. Therefore, that's their goal. That would give them 2 chances to make the Olympics, 1 in the semifinal and 1 if they happen to lose that in the bronze medal game. So all this is to avoid the United States in a semifinal matchup.
Craig, that's outstanding analysis and really gives us some insight into why Steve Nash may be recharging the batteries tonight. Here's Iverson with another 3, his second of the 3rd quarter.
Well, it makes perfect sense. But plus, Coach Triano, if there's any, and also Steve Nash and all the Canadians, if there's any way they can beat Team USA today, they would do it. But there's no sense in risking not going to the Olympics for something that might not happen anyway. So it's a good strategy. We would love to see Steve Nash the second half, but we'll see him a lot the rest of the week.
No question. Swords out, Francis in for Team Canada. Larry Brown directing traffic as the head coach of the United States. Barrett got it. Can't leave him open.
No, he's continuing to play well. The guy has really improved his game. He's a very good player.
Leading scorer in this tournament now with 15 points, leads all scorers. Tim Duncan has 14 points to face the United States. And that pass from Carter intended for Duncan is stolen by Barrett. Newton turns away from O'Neal, missed the shot. And Thomas gets out of there with the offensive rebound.
That's a super idea to take that out. Oh, nice play. Nice shot.
Jesse Young drops in the bucket for Canada. And the Canadians pull to within 13 inside of 6 minutes to go in the 3rd. Duncan down the lane. And a foul is going to be called on Young. Ray Allen checks in for Allen Iverson. No, check that. That'll be for Vince Carter. And Kenyon Martin checking back in for the United States for Jermaine O'Neal. So now you have Kenyon Martin and Jason Kidd of the New Jersey Nets in the game at the same time. And of course, Richard Jefferson is on this squad as well. First time in USA basketball history that 3 players from the same NBA team are on this squad. We've had some great pairs before from other NBA teams like Stockton and Malone. Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen from the Bulls were teammates on the Dream Team in '92. So never 3 players from the same NBA club.
So I don't think you say Stockton and Malone. You say Stockton to Malone.
That's exactly right. That's how that works.
They just come in pairs there.
Of course, John Stockton announced his retirement at the end of last season. Karl Malone, who originally planned to be here and may play for the Olympic team next year, getting ready for his first season with the Los Angeles Lakers. That'll be a 3-second violation against Team Canada. Long pass ahead intended for Ray Allen. Couldn't pull it in. Almost looked like a bomb in football. Allen tried for the over-the-shoulder catch. Incomplete. Team Canada's got the ball back.
Rowan Barrett took a took a stumble down on the other end. The decal again, a slick thing on the floor. He kind of winced a little bit. Coach immediately got him to the bench. He is taking no chances of not having a full roster or his star power on the floor tomorrow.
Craig Saber gave us some terrific analysis about why Steve Nash may not play anymore in tonight's game. Just want to remind people that the 3 top teams in this tournament will go to the Olympic Games. 10 teams started. The top 3 qualify for next year's Summer Games in Athens. And the United States needed to go through this qualifying process because of their 6th place finish at the 2002 World Championships in Indianapolis last year.
Great defensive read by Allen Iverson for the steal.
Iverson controls the pass. That's his 3rd 3 of the 3rd quarter. 18-point lead for the United States, and we've got an official timeout on the floor. Allen Iverson very quietly has worked his way to 16 points here tonight.
Quietly for you, Dave, but for Team Canada, pretty loud. Just impossible to guard. Impossible. Great shot.
United States going for their 21st consecutive victory in Olympic qualifying competition tonight. One more look at AI.
1, 2 y 3. Comienza la competencia del tiro libre. Aquí tenemos a la chica de Argentina, tenemos acá a la chica de Puerto Rico. Ahí la chica de Puerto Rico ya anotó el primero.
Look, we got to figure out one way where we get the ball inside and see how they're playing us. All right? We just got to do that because we're going to play the next few games, and they can't guard us inside. And we got to get a shot every time down the court. The other thing, everybody on our team got to rebound the ball. We can't run out. And when the ball is rebounded, we got to get our wings filling. All right, Jake, just do this for me. You come off pretty high, and then it's a turnout with Allen. If he's above you, I'm throwing it right to the rim, Timmy. If he's below you, it's Allen and in, and we're going to stand. Everybody's going to stand. Weak side big, you work your way down, all right?
All right, Larry Brown, the man with a plan in the United States huddle, and you saw the shooting percentages during that timeout. Team USA shooting 60% tonight, right in line with where they've been throughout this tournament, coming into play tonight, shooting 62% from the field.
Let's see if Team USA executes the next possession. Should be either a lob to Duncan or a dump in, and everyone's standing and letting him go one-on-one.
Thomas to Greg Francis. Karangwa with the pass across to Michael King. And a foul is going to be on Kenyon Martin. And for Martin, that'll be his 2nd personal foul. Team foul number 4 on the United States.
That just drives players crazy. I mean, he did touch the guy, had his hands on him a little bit, but one time you get clobbered, the next time you just ticky-tack kind of foul. It just drives players crazy. Oh.
What a great rebound by Kenyon Martin.
A manly rebound. Let's see if he's trying to go into Duncan.
Jason Kidd back on the floor.
Oh, the heck with that play. Let me just shoot.
You know, and 2 Canadian teammates, Michael King and Avell Thomas, converge and knock the ball over the end line, and the United States will take it. We haven't seen too much of Jason Kidd shooting the ball. That was kind of a rarity, that last miss.
You could just see what he was thinking. He tried to get everybody in position what Coach Brown told him to do. And then at a certain point, he says, oh, what the heck, I'm just taking it.
Ray Allen, little stutter step. Tim Duncan thought about it. Kidd to Martin. Back the other way comes Francis, and he's stripped of the basketball by Duncan. Kidd looking inside, kicks it into Duncan. Duncan working on King. Ray Allen swings into the lane. Iverson, can you make it 4 threes? Yes, he can. Allen Iverson, 4 3-point shots here in the third.
Great penetration by Ray Allen to set that up. Of course, Iverson answered with another 3.
Iverson, just an amazing natural scorer. Kid nearly had the steal. Now the shot clock's down to 5.
It's funny. It's like saying an actor is an overnight sensation. He's worked for 30 years to be a scorer. Nothing's natural about it. He's worked his tail off, I'm sure, for years. Now, natural athlete, yes. He has a quality that you can't work on. He's a special talent. But he has worked on his game in this.
Bibby and Brand into the lineup for the United States. Swords returns for Canada. Iverson.
Make it 5.
That's 5 3-pointers in the third.
Next time Allen gets the ball, look for a heat check. I think he'll just try to find out how hot he is. He might throw some stuff up just to see how hot he is.
Well, Tracy McGrady unable to go tonight, leading the United States in scoring, second to Iverson in minutes, and number 1 on this team in 3-point shooting. And we wondered, well, who would pick up the slack in terms of offense on the United States squad? Well, Iverson was simply one of the guys who was doing that tonight.
Well, actually, they only had 11 choices. I mean, just, you know, it's like, who wants to shoot? Who wants to score? Because it doesn't matter. All of them are unbelievable.
Swords with the free throws for Canada, 74-52.
I told you, the heat check.
6
there you go.
3-point shots in the third.
Next one's going to be from half-court hook. I'm telling you, he's going to check to see how hot he is.
Iverson's got 18 points in the quarter. Forced 3-pointer up there by Karangwa, and he will go to the line. Iverson, a smooth 18 points here in the third, and we've still got another minute 53 to go before we head to the fourth. Well, Iverson's got 6 of those.
So it's 18-13 in favor of Iverson against Team Canada.
Karangwa was born in Burundi. He's 25 years old, played his college basketball at Siena. He scored 31 as a junior at Siena in the new NCAA tournament play-in game against Alcorn State. So Siena was the first team in 47 years to win a game in the NCAA tournament with a losing record. Ball belongs to Team Canada. Full court pressure defense by the United States. Iverson, who led the NBA in steals last year, nearly got another one. Here comes Richard Jefferson for the United States. Hard to believe in this game, but in the first quarter, Team Canada had a double-digit lead and a 7-point lead at the end of one.
Iverson is literally everywhere. He's touched every ball, takes every shot, did the walking. I mean, it's the Allen Iverson show right now.
Obviously the answer.
And every day.
Francis over Iverson. It's an air ball.
He's going the other way.
Brand wasn't ready for that pass. Boy, you know, with the wealth of point guard talent on this USA squad with Bibby and Jason Kidd, and of course Allen Iverson's a terrific passer. If you're out on the floor with those guys, you got to keep your head up all the time.
But, you know, not to correct you, that was a bad pass. I mean, you shouldn't be hitting a big man like that, away from the basket, in a crowd, and not looking at you. That's just a little lack of concentration by Bibby.
Kwiatkowski scores for Canada.
Right back to Allen. Oh.
And he was open.
Had him in the corner.
Team Canada with an opportunity here to take a bite out of the United States' 21-point lead. Oh, three-point shot up and good. That's Kwiatkowski again. Here's Brand. Oh, that's too easy. He just backed Michael King right up under the rim and just flipped it up in the basket. Shot clock is off as we go under 15 seconds in the third. Swords. Here's King. Kenyon Martin out to Ray Allen. 5 seconds left in the third. Iverson, can he make it 7? Yes! Allen Iverson. 7 3-point goals in the third quarter for Team USA.
That borders on the ridiculous. That's unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's great.
That's a 21-point quarter for AI.
Ray Allen stumbling out of the blocks. Iverson just is, I think you would safely say, feeling it. Unbelievable.
Iverson with 21 for the third, 28 for the game. And a punctuation mark to end the third quarter. All right, what a quarter for Allen Iverson. Let's swing it back to Craig Sager.
Well, we've been talking about San Juan, Puerto Rico, the Puerto Rican team having the home court advantage in this tournament. Obviously, Allen Iverson owns the basket tonight, though. I'm with Julio Toro. What about AI's performance here? 7 for 7 from 3 in the quarter.
It's a clinic. It's the whole hang. Everybody's going for him, but he giving a show. I love to be here to see what's going on.
You guys won earlier tonight. A big tournament for Puerto Rico. 4 years ago, you had home court advantage trying to get to the Olympics. Only 2 spots at that time. Canada and the United States both defeated you to take those away. How much pressure do you feel on the team this year?
Well, in this moment, we have to win our next 2 games around Dominican Republic and Brazil game. It's going to be a tough one because with USA going to be sudden death. Everybody knows what's going to happen in that game. It's almost impossible to play with the US team. But we think that we can do it. Our destiny is in our hand, and we're going to go for it.
So, like Canada, you basically are considering the #1 team or the #1 slot, the United States. You guys are now fighting for the final 2 spots.
Yeah, we are trying to go by the route for us, and the door is going to be Brazilian team because I think that Canada, Argentina, and US are already in the Olympics.
Your game against the United States on Thursday, what would this atmosphere be like? What would the crowd be like?
It's going to be real tough. Everybody is going to be there just being with the U.S. team because we know that it's an impossible dream to beat this team.
All right, well, good luck. Thanks for being with us.
Dave. Thanks, Greg. That's going to be an interesting matchup with Puerto Rico. And Elton Brand goes right down the lane. Can't hit the shot, but picks up the foul, and he'll go back to the line. You know, unless you watch Elton Brand in an extended period of time, Mike, you really don't appreciate how quick he is when he gets the ball.
Well, he's very quick. He knows how to use his body, gets great position, runs the floor. He's one of the premier power forwards in the league.
Also, he plays a lot taller than 6'8". He's a real space eater in there, no question.
It's like Jerry Krause when they drafted him in Chicago. Said he had no neck. If he had a neck, he would be about 6'10". So it's not really important from the shoulders on up because of your reach and everything else. So he plays a lot bigger than the 6'8" that he is.
Kwiatkowski again for Canada, and it's a 20-point game. Well, if you tuned in late and you're wondering where Tracy McGrady and Steve Nash are, Tracy McGrady did not come to the gym tonight. Richard Jefferson with the miss.
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. That's not going to win any friends.
Kwiatkowski and Kenyon Martin mixing it up. And this could have nearly been a real incident.
Yeah, I can't believe the referees. I can't believe the referees let that go. That's bad.
So McGrady's back at the hotel nursing a sore back. Did not come over to the arena tonight. And Steve Nash played very well in the first period for Team Canada, but we have not seen him since. Team Canada opting to rest Steve Nash from the rest of the games this week.
Bibby's trying to give Elton Brand another pass. This time he picked it up.
Ray Allen.
Well, that is money right there. That is so sweet.
Ray Allen 3 of 3 from outside the arc, but of course the long-range bombing by everybody else on the floor tonight pales in comparison to Allen Iverson, who is 7 of 8 on his three-point shots in this game tonight. Hit 7 threes in the third quarter. Kenyon Martin hearing the boo birds here in San Juan. Missed the bank shot. Kwiatkowski, the rebound for Canada. He's been busy tonight. Three-point shot on the way. No good that time for Denham Brown. 87-62. Mike Bibby
Great
inside
pass.
to Elton Brand.
Great pass. Great hand. Well, Team Canada, after taking out Barrett and Nash, were like, the other players like thrown to the wolves.
Yes.
If I'm one of the other guys, I go, hey, wait a minute. How come I can't go sit out instead of getting spanked?
Young and Newton will come in just a moment for Team Canada. That's exactly right.
You know, one thing about getting playing time, but I don't know, with Kenyon Martin beasting everybody in there, I don't know if it's a good thing or not.
Can he hit another? Yes. Kwiatkowski, 24-year-old forward for Team Canada, born in Poland, lives in Cambridge, Ontario, played at the University of Western Ontario, plays his professional basketball in Germany.
Now he plays in a nice team, the Skyliners in Germany. He does a good job.
Ray Allen. Allen now 4 for 4 in his three-point attempts, 92-65. You know, Mike, we're down to 6.5 minutes to go in the game, and we haven't brought up your 30-point win guarantee.
It does not count today.
Oh, okay.
Just, you know, that doesn't. Without Nash on the floor, it doesn't count.
Jermaine O'Neal also returns for the United States. Kenyon Martin will take a seat. And something tells me that he'll probably hear a word or two from maybe more than one of the United States coaching staff about some of that rough stuff under the basket.
I doubt it.
Really?
No. He's playing hard. I mean, just sometimes he goes over the edge a little bit, but that's his reputation, and that's the way Kenyon Martin is. So they're not going to say anything. They risk their lives.
92-65. 6.5 to go. Three-point field goals. The United States tonight, 73%, just sizzling from outside the arc. And when they're shooting the ball from the outside that way, Mike, that's just not fair.
No, they're doing a great job. I'm sure Coach Brown, if he wanted to say something, he'll be sending one of the assistants down to say something. No, you know, Kenyon Martin, he plays on the edge a lot of times. He plays hard. So, you know, whether he goes over the edge every once in a while, it's misfortunate, but the guy puts a lot of energy into the game, and he's been super in our league.
Get to that block. Next small man, fill that wing. Next man, come up top. Be here. So we're filling spots and we're playing the right way.
Hey, look, hey, Jace, we came out of it halftime and said we're not cutting if we hit the post. First time we cut. We score on a pick and roll on rub. Run it again. All right, 14 rubs. Hey, he's going to post up no matter what. Hey,
That's just, you know, it's great to listen to Coach Brown and Coach Popovich, two of the best coaches ever. Just, you know, up 30, up to 27 points. They just continue teaching. A little upset that they didn't hit the post and stand still, which he said in the first, in the timeout.
Here's Jermaine O'Neal forcing his way in there.
Yeah, he tried to root him out with his body. The referee called a pretty obvious foul.
O'Neal picks up his fourth.
A little too much. He didn't have to do this bump right there to get him on. He didn't have to do that. He could have just gone over it.
Denham Brown. A lot of moves, but just couldn't hit the shot from the baseline. Bibby leaves it for Richard Jefferson. Oh, what a great look inside for O'Neal.
Great pass. Getting back to the point a little bit about Kenyon Martin, you see the head coach, Coach Brown, didn't say anything, but took him out of the game. Send a little message that way. It's a lot safer.
Nick Collison will make his first appearance tonight at the next opportunity. Three-point shot, no good. Richard Jefferson, though, commits the foul.
If we get a replay of that, you'll see that Kwiatkowski kind of pushed his arms out, created the foul. Richard Jefferson just wanted to run by in front of him. He didn't want to foul the guy. And he's explaining now. He said he kicked his legs out, kicked his arm out. I didn't have a chance not to foul. Replay was not taken, so you'll have to trust me on that one.
Mike, I'm with you totally on it.
Okay, good.
Kwiatkowski hits the first free throws. He played with Canada at the 2002 World Championships in Indianapolis and spent some time in the 2001 LA Pro Summer League. Canada had an entry in that league. Hits the free throw. 94-67, 5.5 to go in the fourth. In many of the previous games in this tournament, oh, Richard Jefferson nearly with a circus shot out of bounds to Canada. We had the high wire act, Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, Jermaine O'Neal, Richard Jefferson. We had many Showtime dunks. This time, the nail came from long distance by Team USA. They had just simply shot the lights out from outside the arc tonight.
Well, one of the reasons that you're not seeing a lot of dunks, the Team Canada plays very good team defense. Their weak side is always sagging in, and so it makes it tough to have an open lane where you can go in and get dunks. They get back on defense very well, and they obviously are under control most of the time. So, it's reasonable to say that we just busted them from threes tonight. That's why it was open. That's why we took. Good sign.
Good defense that time by the United States. I'm sure Jay Triano, the head coach of the Canadian squad, will get a lot of questions in the post-game press conference about his strategy with Steve Nash tonight. But, Mike, in this tournament, players do get a tendency to get worn down. Carlos Arroyo, the star of Puerto Rico, has suffered from that, although tonight against Venezuela, he seemed to pick up his second win. You've got to keep your stars ready to go in important games.
Yeah, like we said, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It doesn't matter who wins all the games. You just got to win the important ones.
These guys will hit your man. Right? Jefferson shouldn't be able. He went like this, around one and under the other. If I can set a screen on him, Denham, you come to here. Noel's going to hit you with it, and then we're going to hit Prosper coming off 1, 2 more here. I had him here. No, I want to go to the other side. You're going to get it and go one-on-one here with all their help coming. There's nothing there. Go screen for Denham. Go here. Come off the double. If he's guarding you that close, rub him off. Right? If he's guarding you that close there, you think you can beat him, you got him coming here. So double down and the double across. All right? And then we're in shuffle. All right? Let's go play this last 5. Let's go. Play it hard now. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Let's get better.
Team Canada coach Jay Triano is really an interesting story, Mike. He was drafted in the same year in the CFL by the Calgary Stampeders and in the NBA by the Los Angeles Lakers. And he was drafted right behind Ann Myers. And a lot of folks still remind him of that.
That's not a good thing.
He was playing basketball for Team Canada in 1980, and when they boycotted the Olympics over the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan, decided to go out for the football team at Simon Frazier. Well, the basketball coach got wind of that and said, well, I know he's a great receiver, but make him play defense because we don't want him getting hit. And he played well enough to get drafted by the CFL's Calgary Stampeders. Very colorful coach, a pretty darn good basketball coach too.
He's done a great job with Team Canada.
Jesse Young. Karangwa missed the shot. Rebound by Jermaine O'Neal. Vince Carter's back in the game for Team USA. Here's Nick Collison under the basket. And Collison 1 for 1. Collison got his first real taste of serious minutes against the Virgin Islands on Saturday. Bibby nearly had the steal. Down the lane, the runner by Brown's an air ball. Shot clock still running down. Karangwa, too strong on the three.
It's just so tough right now for Team Canada to be able to find an open shot. It's just they're not there. They really don't have anyone that can really break people down to create shots.
Vince Carter for three from the wing. And going with the theme of the night, no flashy dunks, more three-point shots. Vince Carter drops one in for 3 points. Collison the rebound. Long outlet pass to Carter. Vince Carter. Vince Carter was the focus of our halftime feature with Craig Sager tonight, and he spent quite a few moments talking about that thunderous dunk in the 2000 Olympic Games over Frederick Weiss of France. That time the simple reverse off the glass was enough for 2 points. Newton, the look inside, deflected out of bounds by Collison. A trio of Canadians checking the lineup: King, Francis, and Kwiatkowski. Jermaine O'Neal knocked the ball away in the pivot, and now the shot clock expires. 101-67, 2:51 to go in the game.
Coach Triano would love to have a foul every once in a while.
Carter.
Team USA has done a really good job of moving the ball to the weak side. I'm sure is a point of emphasis from Coach Brown.
Vince Carter, all net. Back-to-back threes by Vince Carter, 104-67.
Well, they are draining some threes tonight. They better save some of that for the rest of the week.
Team USA averaging 108 points a game, getting very close. Sitting on 104 right now. Karangwa off the baseline, no good. Rebound by Michael King.
You know, probably the most important thing that's come out of this tonight is that the first quarter, they're up 7 points. They will take that back to the hotel, and they will get a bunch of confidence from that. I mean, in their minds, and I'm sure the coaches will tell them, you know, with Steve Nash on the floor, Barrett on the floor, without Peter Kwiatkowski, we are 7 points up. So, you know, they will try to build on that, and hopefully at the end of the week, if they can get into the medal round, that will be a big point for them.
Make something happen. Collison. Richard Jefferson. Another great example of terrific ball movement by Team USA tonight. Here's Francis. He hits. That's a 2-point field goal. 90 seconds to go in the game. Don't forget, tomorrow afternoon at 5, Team USA takes on Argentina. The United States looking for a little payback after the loss in the 2002 World Championships in Indianapolis. Nick Collison with his second basket tonight. United States trailed by 7 at the end of the first quarter, but in the second quarter outscored Canada 30-11 and have not looked back. Vince Carter leads the break. A game tonight highlighted by 7 3-point baskets in the third quarter by Allen Iverson. He leads all scorers with 28. Vince Carter going for his third three of the fourth.
Well, they are knocking down some threes.
They're really putting on a clinic tonight shooting the basketball. Of course, the three-point line in international competition is 20 feet away. That's 3 feet closer than it is in the NBA.
They're doing a good job just all night of swinging the ball from one side to the other. It's amazing how your field goal percentage goes up when the ball is swung one time. It's not a hard principle to understand. It's sometimes hard for a team to do it, but it's something that really pays off.
Pass intended for Collison, stolen away. Final seconds ticking down. Francis can't hit. Took one in the face. near a spot on his face where he already has a bandage by Vince Carter. Vince Carter now, that's his fourth personal foul. Vince Carter, 19 points tonight. Ooh. Well, without Tracy McGrady, the United States moves to 5-0 in the FIBA Tournament of the Americas. The road continues tomorrow afternoon against Argentina. They've been averaging 40-point wins, and they're right on that again tonight. The final over Team Canada, 111-71. The United States begins the second round of the FIBA Tournament of the Americas with an impressive win over their North American neighbors from Canada by 40, 111-71. Swing it over to Craig Sager, who's standing by with Steve Nash. Craig?
Well, Dave,
oh, whoops, we're going to catch him.
First of all, to try to talk to Allen Iverson to see how hot he was.
Well, you better be careful.
As long as you mentioned Steve Nash, we'll talk to Steve very quickly here as he's talking to Coach Popovich. Steve, obviously you were sensational in the first quarter. Why didn't you play the rest of the game?
We got 5 games left for us to make the Olympics, so it was important for us to get the most of this rest. We're playing 8 games in 8 days, and that's tough.
Good luck the rest of the way. Now let's go over and try to get hold of Allen Iverson since he was so hot in that third quarter.
Better be careful. Might need asbestos gloves.
Well, Allen, obviously you've been the NBA scoring champion at times. We know you're impossible to stop one-on-one, but how hot were you in that third quarter?
Got real hot. Basket looked like an ocean. I was just trying to get enough space to get some shots off, but you know, my teammates did a great job just getting me the ball in the spots I needed.
6 for 6, and then time running down in the quarter, and all of a sudden you get the last one. Did you think that one was going into?
Definitely. I thought everything I was throwing up was going to go in. You know, I was ready to try one with my eyes closed, but I didn't want to hear Coach mouth.
How much fun are you having down here?
I'm having a lot of fun. I mean, it's something that I remember, something that I cherish for the rest of my life. You know, I get a chance for my wife and my kids to be a part of it. And I got my uncle down here and a couple of my friends. And it's just something, you know, that I cherish for the rest of my life. It's an honor to be here. And, you know, I'm happy I'm here being able to contribute for the U.S.
And who is this?
It's my son, Deuce.
That's who I thought he was. They let him back in after getting himself locked into the bathroom in the bus. What happened then?
He was able to get out. He went in there and locked himself in and didn't know how to get out. But he ain't panic or nothing.
All right, great job tonight. Hey, Deuce, what happened?
I don't know.
Did you go to the clinic yesterday with your dad?
No.
Who's your favorite player?
My daddy.
Well, he's a lot of people's favorite player, particularly tonight. Good job.
All right, thanks.
Dave.
All right. Well, obviously, Allen Iverson was the favorite player of head coach Larry Brown tonight. He was just red hot.
And he might change his son's name to Trey instead of Deuce.
Yeah.